Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Beyond the Backboard Podcast, episode whatever. My name is Omar. Next to me is Max. Below me is Earl. And welcome back to the NBA season. It was a great start last night. We kicked it off with the Knicks and Celtics, Knicks versus Celtics, and then Timberwolves versus the Lakers. One turned out to be a shit show. One turned out to be a pretty good game. We're going to go talk about it, go over it.
Earl, you seem very happy there about your Lakers.
Yeah.
You seem very happy.
No, I don't want to. Let's talk Knicks first.
I don't want to talk about the Knicks right now. I feel terrible.
All right, I'll start then. I feel like, for the Lakers fans, it's a new day. Darvinham's gone. LA is bright and shining. The vibe was good. The game was good. And what I'll say is this. I try to talk to people about this, not you guys in particular, like just people on Twitter and stuff like that, just my friends, about the effectiveness of a head coach, how a whole coaching staff can change the dynamic of your whole team infrastructure. And we seen that last night. We shot horrible last night, but every 3-point shot we took was pretty much an open shot. We shot around like 17% and won a game, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, I think the new JJ Redick system, the biggest thing we wanted to go over first is like offensive rebounding. We were huge on the offensive glass. We've seen Rui Hachimura being active. We've seen Austin Reeves active on the offensive glass. We've seen Anthony Davis active on the offensive glass. And it's just one of those things where it's always, these players have always been capable of it, but they've never been coached to do it. Like in the Darvin system, it's like, all right, everybody run back. We need 5 people running back on defense. Well, if you have 1 or 2 people crashing the glass, you can get yourself another possession or two instead of completely giving up on the play after the shot just goes up. So we've seen a lot of easy second chance opportunities off of that. I'll talk about particulars. Anthony Davis was like an absolute dog, absolute number 1 option last night. Offense, and for a night where he wasn't even having the most crazy offensive game. I mean, he had 36 points, but I think it was shooting a little bit under 40, just around 40-50% from the field. So he definitely could have done better. I think he was rushing the shots, but when the fourth quarter came down, he was dogging, walking Rudy Gobert down to the floor. He was hitting post fades, pull up mid-range shots, defense. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all seen the spike hurl around the world where he sent Gobert's shot all the way down mid-first front row. That was exciting to see. And yeah, it just showed me like, and on top of that too, like, let me pull up the box score, but LeBron James, his minutes were good. It's not like LeBron had to play like 40-something minutes last night. JJ Redick did a good job of reducing his minutes, his workflow, and kind of putting that more towards AD and the other guys. If you tell me we can win a game, there's no way last year we won a game where LeBron James kind of plays around 35. He was kind of playing like 38 to 40 plus minutes, which is crazy in primetime games like a Timberwolves game. So for him to get 35 minutes, he shot 7 for 16 points. Rui had 18. Amazing game from Rui. AD 36 points. 11 for 23. That's what I was talking about. Like field goal, he could have been a lot better. He could have had a 50-point game if he made the shots he was taking. Probably a little bit more than that. But everything looked smooth, man. I was super excited to watch my Lakers go out there and play good basketball. And yeah, one thing I will say is Jackson Hayes is not the best backup center we can have. We definitely need to trade for a big. I know he's 4 for 5. That's because he gets absolutely spoon-fed. He can't create for himself. But that's my only complaint. Jackson Hayes, you have to lock in. Like in a lineup where you have AD and Bron out there, he was kind of just taking up space. Like he can't create for himself. He was kind of sloppy where he was in the zone on defense as well. So it gets a little bit rocky, but we take what we can get. D'Angelo Russell, 1 for 7 on wide open practice shots is insane. But
do you think it's because he's blonde now?
I don't know what he did to his hair, but I'm not one to speculate. I'll give him a sample size. I'll give him 5 games with blonde hair. If it's bad, got to turn it back. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules.
Yeah, he's got to shave his head bald now because man, bleaching it blonde and then dyeing it back like the darkest brown is so hard. Oh my God.
It's gonna take a couple tries.
It's gonna take a couple tries. I remember I went blonde in high school.
We need the picture.
You had a blonde hair?
I'll edit the picture and I'll find it and I'll edit it in. But Yeah, back then I had like earrings and then blonde hair, and it was around this length, so it was like short blonde hair with like a
so you're going like the
dark
Eminem
beard.
type look.
But it was fun for a time, but when I was bleaching it, it hurt. Like and I had to sit there for hours. Like
maybe D'Lo was in some pain from the bleaching, and that's what caused.
Maybe you know what? Maybe that's the connection I'm seeing. Maybe it was the bleach.
Yeah, definitely.
But how do we feel about the Timberwolves though, bro? Oh, I didn't talk about Bronny, but
I was gonna say, what did you think of the Bronny Bron intro and how he played?
I think it was exactly what it was supposed to be. A nice little 2 minutes between the game. We didn't let that distract us from the fact that, hey, we have to go out here and finish a game. I think JJ Redick did a good job of implementing him, not the end of the second quarter, but kind of around the 8-minute mark, let him play for 2 minutes, let them see. He gave him a shot opportunity. Bronny got to shoot 3. He missed it, which was okay. It was a good look. And then they had their moment, and then we locked in and finished the game. So I think it was cool, man. Shout out to the James fam. Yesterday was a busy day. It was Zuri's birthday as well. You got Bronny and Bron playing together for the first time. So congrats to them. But I think JJ's really handling the whole James situation really well. So I appreciate him. I appreciate him.
I give him a lot of credit for, like you said, how he's going about this, because I think the elephant in the room is obviously the fact that Bronny is, he's Bron's son. There needs to be kind of these moments. The Lakers took him for these moments to play him together and to give him looks and to give him opportunities, even though his college stats didn't back that up. But Redick's been nothing but good with the whole situation. He's backed Bronny publicly. He said, we didn't just do it. Obviously, obviously it's a factor that he's the son of one of our players, and it's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
We also just believe in him as a player and as a prospect. And like you said, they're giving him chances. They let him touch the ball, let him take a shot. They put him in, not just in garbage time or whatever. They put him in a game. They're giving him a real opportunity here. And so I'm glad to see that he's going about it, I think, the right way. He's not overplaying him. He's not being like, Bronny's going to be in the starting lineup and play 20 minutes. But he's doing enough to where it's it appeases LeBron, it appeases the fans to where they get their moment. But like you said, it's still a serious atmosphere of a team trying to win a game. And we saw down the stretch of that game, a team that was locked in and trying to win. Is this a game that they win with Darvin Ham? Maybe, maybe not. I would go probably not. Those close games, probably the kind of ones that we would see lose in those situations. So I got to give a shout out to Redick. It's a long season. It's one game, but, nice little – it's a good way to start things off and instill some confidence in Lakers fans, which is important with a new head coach, especially one as inexperienced as him.
Yeah, definitely.
Omar, what did you think about Randall's performance yesterday? We saw Randall for the first time.
I was just about to ask you that, yeah.
Almost a year. It's been a while since we've seen him on the court. I was surprised he played. I didn't think he would play.
True.
But he played with even so clearly the shoulder is at least in a decent enough spot for him to suit up.
I started to see a lot of mistakes that Max was talking about. I'm not going to lie. But
he was right, ladies and gentlemen. He was right.
Let's give him 3 games.
Wait.
He hasn't played in a year.
Let's bring it from here to here, because I'm not saying you're right. I said I saw it
but you're not wrong.
Undoubtedly, those things have been a problem, and for a reason.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that.
That's all I ask.
I'm not saying we never see them. I'm saying we don't see them as much as you make it out to see, because you are the ultimate Randall hater on this earth. Scorched earth, you're saying fuck Julius Randall type shit. It doesn't matter. But the point was,
what did you think of his game? What did you think?
I think he had an all right game. I to be honest, I think he needs to just set himself in a little bit more. Same thing with Dante DiVincenzo. Look, a first game jitters for a brand new team, it's going to be rough for anybody, especially when you're coming off of a really serious shoulder injury like Julius Randle was trying to do. And then being dumped off from New York. I'm not saying that he probably didn't want to leave, or he probably had some idea that it was going to happen or something like that. But I am saying the way that they had an event for him for a charity, and then 2 days later he got traded, was a you know what I mean? That's so messed up. And you open a court after him, you do all these things for him, and he does all these things for the city because he cares about this city. He's been here for a long time for a reason. And then you just dump him off like that. That's going to be demoralizing for any player. If I'm not saying this would ever happen ever. But let's say this happened to LeBron. He would feel demoralized because let's say he gets traded from Cleveland to fucking Utah and he's like, well, I just left my fucking hometown. My hometown just traded me. Like, it's going to be demoralizing for almost anybody. I'm not saying Julius's hometown is New York, but damn it, 5 years he gave to this organization.
It's like when the Nets traded Durant to Phoenix.
No, it's not. Yeah. He's been there for 2 years, 3 years.
But it's that feeling of like when a superstar gets moved like that, just so suddenly.
It's really.
It's more of the time that they spend with the team. It's not more or less like.
So like a Marcus Smart.
Yes.
Exactly. Obviously not the same caliber player, but
somebody that didn't make as much as an effort on the floor, but was still like heartbreaking enough, like to give.
Celtics fans loved him.
Exactly.
No, I think he gave.
It's how we feel about Dante. It's how we feel about Dante.
I think it's more so. I think it's more so they got to figure things out. Like, and I know we'll talk about the Knicks too. I think when you make like drastic moves as far as like number 2/3 options on teams, it's different. Like you're playing in a whole new system where like it's focused around Anthony Edwards and his offense ability. You kind of got to fit in around that. I say the same thing about Cat. Like Cat, which we'll talk about in a minute too. I feel like just early introduction. I feel like he kind of went away from his game. He didn't really shoot a lot, which is that's what he's known to do. So I think it's about not only the players but the coaches adjusting to having these players. Like you can't play them the same way you play a Cat. You can't play a Cat the same way you play a Julius. So I think once the coaching staff kind of understands that, guys get a little bit more locked in, and Dante as well. I think he played good. Like for the most part, Timberwolves were taking kind of tougher shots. I feel like they took a lot of contested shots. That was credit to the defense, but the open ones they were shooting, some of them were just missing. And I don't expect Dante to miss those type of shots all the time. And we got to remember it's the first game of the season as well. Not everyone is going to pull up. Celtics, apparently they've been practicing their whole lives for opening night, which was crazy.
I don't even want to hear this shit, man. They've been the same team for like 4 years, man. And then they're talking about, oh, we blew out the Knicks. This is supposed to be the best team after. Man, fuck Boston.
I mean, they did do what they did. No, but my point is, I think Julius, I'll give a real pain. Give me like 4 games. I want to see how he adjusts a little bit. And like I said, he's coming off an injury. We'll see what happens, but he was being a little bit of a clogger. I think he has to kind of play that mid-range a little bit more and shoot a couple more threes because it was easy on us. Like Julius Randle was just sitting in there. We had more jump shot opportunities. He can't guard Anthony Davis, which I told y'all before. Even when he was on the team, there's no way Julius will ever guard AD. No offense.
Yeah.
And
AD had a monster game.
Was that you that sent it to the BTB chat, or was that Natalie that sent it to the sleeper chat where it was Rui quoting? And
was
like, we kind of just saw Julius Randle sitting
quote.
there.
Yeah,
and I was like, bruh.
Basically, JJ said he told Rui to be like, we noticed that Julius Randle's the guy who kind of sits around, so you can take advantage of that, and that's why Rui was like on the offensive glass a lot. Getting easy.
That's exactly what I've been saying for years about Randle. Is a lot of times he's checked out on defense. Like I say, he's just sitting around and it's like a guy back cuts him or a guy gets a rebound over him when he's in position. It's like he's just not locked in all the time.
I was proud of Rui though.
You start to see those problems when somebody moves away from a team. I will say that. I'm not saying that I never saw it ever when he was with the Knicks. I didn't see it as much.
It's easier to see when it's not your team.
It's easier to see when it's not your team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm definitely curious to see like Earl talked about, like what kind of role Randle plays. Where is he going to be kind of that more of a clogger? Is he going to be in like the mid-range, like post-up game where it's like because when Randle puts the hand up in the post, you got to get him the ball or else things are not going to go well. So is he going to be the kind of guy to take the ball away from Ant? Because there were a couple of times last game where we saw him just kind of go in the corner, just go stand on the 3-point line to let Ant create. So is he going to become more of that role, like a catch and shoot off an Ant drive, or is he going to be trying to go into the post and back people down and get Ant open?
I have a question.
I think.
Go. Sorry, answer the question first. I'm sorry, but
I was gonna say, in a different world, like we've seen situations where Rudy Gobert's gotten benched for offensive production. I could see a lineup where you go like maybe Julius small ball and have Nas Reed out there with him to kind of stretch the floor. That gives Nas Reed the opportunity to hit threes. Julius kind of play more of the mid-range game, and Ant can do whatever he wants to do. You can throw Dante out there as well. Mike Conley was a little bit disappointing. 1 for 7, really not effective at all. unfortunately, but
I think by the end of the year, we're going to see Conley phased out of the starting lineup. Or
I think it's going to be. I think we're going to see a combination of.
They didn't even bring any of their rookies in either. Not a rookie playing for them either.
That's one of the options. So what I genuinely think is going to happen is it's probably going to be Ant at the 1, Dante at the 2. Either Terrence, and what was their other rookies? Dillingham. It's probably going to be Dillingham. It's probably not going to be Terrence Shannon. But
I don't think they're going to bench McDaniels. I think they like the defense of McDaniels too much.
Yeah, that's as well. But
unless you can't move them to the 4.
To be completely honest, I see them going into a Anthony Edwards at the 1, Dante at the 2 lineup. I think that's more their speed. To be completely
they could, but I feel like they don't want to put the emphasis on Ant to be a playmaker. I feel like they'd rather just kind of let him do his thing as the primary scorer, not worry about that. And if anything, they'd rather sacrifice Dante as the guy to kind of move the ball. Because remember, Dante, he played point guard in college, and he played, I think, a little point guard in either like Milwaukee or Sacramento.
No, Ant can play Ant's 3 not positions. Gonna be that type of guy. Like he had 27 3 assists last night. He's not the type. Like, hey, I'm going to set you – unless they're coming off a double-team action, he has to kick it out, and he just doesn't like a shot. He's not going to actively go like, okay, this play, I'm making this play to set you up. His mindset is attack. Yeah. And last thing I
don't think Dante's particularly that kind of player either, but I think he's closer to Ant. And he's closer to that than Ant. And you'd rather sacrifice Dante being aggressive offensively than Ant, for sure.
Yeah. And that's the reason why they traded D'Lo and got Conley. That's the reason they traded D'Lo and got Conley in the first place, because they wanted somebody like a classic point guard to kind of run things when they need to. So,
So
Conley will still be in the lineup. I do think Conley will still be in the lineup. Maybe just either starts and plays like only 20 or 25 minutes, doesn't close games, or he's on the bench.
Old man Conley.
But we'll see. It's game 1, though. I'm not going to overreact for one game. But
it is game 1.
Yeah.
I do have a
37, 36, like – I would not blame him at all if he starts to slow down. Like, he's been around.
Facts. Yeah.
I do have one question though. So I recognized, I think it was the first game Julius played was the last preseason game, right? Or was it like the second to last?
Did he play preseason?
I'm not sure.
He played one preseason.
I didn't watch the Timberwolves preseason.
I know that much.
Okay.
I just know because Knicks Twitter is on everything, so they see everything and they report on everything. Julius Randle, I believe the first preseason game, did not take a 3 at all. This game, I'm sitting on 2K, but I'm listening. I'm actively listening to the game on the side. Julius Randle 3-pointer. It's good. He hits the shot. Good shot by Julius Randle. Goes back. Julius Randle takes the 3. He misses again. Julius Randle hits the 3. He misses again. Julius Randle. I guess what I'm asking is like, where did it come from? Is it he went from taking 0 threes to, I believe he ended with 3 or 4.
I'll see. I mean, I don't think 3
He didn't take a 3 in the preseason. You're right about that. He took 0 shots in that preseason game. Yeah, 15.
It's kind of high volume. And you got to think, like, it's just what the defense is giving. Like, we were kind of not giving him the 3, but we were kind of packing the paint where it's like, okay, do I want to go in here and try to get a tough bucket? Which he got like 1 or 2 of those, which he had to work really hard for and like fall to the ground for. Or do I take this open-ish 3 and live with that? And I think that's kind of the decisions he made that night. Because he had 3 of them. I mean, he went 1 for 3. AD went 1 for 3 as well. But we know AD was dominant kind of throughout the game. But I think it's what the defense gives you.
I personally think he was
that game for sure.
I personally think like he was moving into a place where he probably wasn't going to take 3s anymore. Personally, I think he was. I think that was something like reflexive. I think that preseason game was something reflexive of trying to maneuver his game around the Knicks lineup with assuming around Jalen, Dante DiVincenzo, Mikal Bridges, and everything else around that on the 3.
Just erase a part of your game, bro. I don't think you just never take 3s again.
I don't think. I think it was going to be significantly less, right? Because we've seen over the years that Julius Randle we went over this before on the podcast. It slightly goes down. The amount of 3-point attempts per game per year, it slightly went down for the past few years that he's been on the Knicks. He went from, I believe, 6 to 4, 4 to afforded like 2.5 or 3.5, and then it went down a little bit more. So what I'm saying is, I think there was a lineup in mind.
What did you say, man?
What? Wait, what?
No, you're good.
I'm looking at his 3-point attempts. Not really. I mean, in his first year with the Knicks, it was 3.5. Then it went up to 5.5. Then it was stayed at 5.5 the next year. Then his 2022, 2023, he took 8 threes a game, which was crazy. And then last year, he went back to 5.5. So basically, he's been at 5.5 other than that one crazy year in 22 when he started just chucking. But last couple years, it seems like he hovered like 5.5 a game. Which honestly, I don't love Randall as a volume 3-point shooter. On a
That's
team
what
like
I'm saying. We
other shooters. I think he would be better off going, like you said, or Omar, like getting tough buckets. I think if he could become more of like a mid-range inside type player, we can use his physicality and body to go bang with guys down low, get rebounds, get and ones, pile up fouls on the other team. He's a good free throw shooter, get to the line more. I think that would be better. And if he could settle in, not to like not take threes, but get to like 3.5, 4 a game. I think over 5 might be a little much for someone who is a career. What's his career 3-point percentage? 33%.
Yeah, I think it should be.
And it's
around,
like,
I honestly think it should be around like 2.
And it's like for me too. It reminds me of like Anthony. It reminds me of like Anthony Davis. Like, I think 3 is the perfect amount of attempts to fill out your shot. Like, okay, if you go 1 for 3, it's like, okay, let me go back inside and work that game. Like that last preseason game, Anthony Davis, he started the game 4 for 4. So I think he ended with like probably like 6 or 7 attempts up. Like once he missed 2, he's like, all right, I'm going back to my mid-range game. And I think he still finished with like around 28. Like you have to know when it's there, it's there. Like the defense just gives it to you, or you have a set play made for you to take a 3, then you take it. But I don't think you have to. If you have the advantage inside, that should be your go-to. Like I feel like 3-point shots for big fellas is still almost always settling, unless that's just your art, like an Embiid who shoots like a high volume of 3s and he makes a decent amount. So I definitely agree with that. I think Julius probably should model his game more in the mid-range / post area as we know him to be. And if he's open, maybe take like no more than 3. If he's shooting 1 for 3, if it's a little bit hot overnight, fill out for your shot. And if it's going in, heat check. That's my best advice.
All right.
Speaking of 3-pointers,
I wanted to do that. Damn it! I wanted to transition.
A team tied the record for 3-pointers.
I wanted the transition. Damn it! That was not the transition.
Can I ask you
a question?
Starters in the end, but they didn't. So they didn't break the record. They tied it. But yeah, the Celtics just absolutely demolished the Knicks. 29, I think, for 61. I mean, taking 61 threes in a game is diabolical. But when you're Boston and you have 5 guys who can shoot 40% from 3 and all of them shot 50 or above. I think Tatum was 8 for 11, which is manic.
That's such a bad.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah, what's up?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Well, I have 2 questions. Well, I have a question and I have a statement. All right. Sorry.
Should you do the statement first?
Question. All right, statement first. The same Boston team. Let me remind people. Austin Reeves beat this team by himself. Full lineup, but we'll save that. Best game of the season last year. Right. But hey. And then they hurt Vando. I think, not a thing, but it wasn't on purpose, but they hurt Vando. Whatever. My question to you guys is, because I know it made me feel like disgusted. How did it make y'all feel when they were literally turning it into a let's break the record type of thing and they were just pulling up for 3 every 2 seconds, like at the end of the game?
I was like, this bench better guard the fuck up and not let them get a shot.
Like they were actively,
I was proud.
Then the crowd goes,
the funny thing is, that's how they
by the way, Earl,
they kept missing.
By the way, Earl, we talked about yesterday on later on 2-minute drill that we'll have later on this week. We talked about how Xavier Tillman's probably going to get no minutes. He got like 17 minutes last night. You said he was out. You said he was out till December.
Oh no, I said Porzingis is out December.
No, you said Tillman. You said Tillman.
No, I said Porzingis. On the mic, I said Porzingis is out to December. That's why Tillman might get minutes or something like that.
No, I said Tillman will probably get heavy minutes, and you were like, nah, I'm pretty sure he's out till December.
No, I'm pretty sure Porzingis is out till December because I seen on Twitter.
I think Porzingis is out after that, actually. I think he's not going to be back till the new year.
Because they said he should be around December, like I saw on Twitter. But no, yeah. I just said I don't think Tillman would play heavy minutes still regardless in that
17
rotation.
I'm a little surprised they went to Cornette as the backup big.
Like
over him.
17
it fits their system more because Cornette can spread the floor a little bit and he can't hit threes.
Yeah.
But I would have assumed Tillman would get the backup to Al Horford, but I guess not.
I remember this quote a couple years ago. I think it was Brad Stevens or something, and I think he said, "I don't think Luke Cornette wants people to know how good he is." And he shoots pretty well.
Stevens, because Cornette's been there for a couple of years, and he barely played like that first year he was on Boston.
I think it just makes more sense.
Or maybe it was Brad Stevens or Ime Udoka more than likely.
Yeah,
I think Cornette just fits the system a little bit better, and he's been there longer, like you said. Like he knows what to expect, and he looked good. Like when he was out there getting those minutes, he played well. I think he just plays good, but I can definitely see Tillman probably averaging around that 17 range. But I mean, the reason he got 17 plus is because the league got kind of crazy, if we're being honest. But
it was crazy the whole game, really. Honestly, 23 is closer than it was most of the game. That I feel like that makes it look closer than it was. And the thing is, the Knicks didn't even play a bad game offensively. Like for all the talk about Bridges, he struggled for sure. Towns didn't get as many points as he
shot like 7 for 13. I saw it. It was
he ended up 7 for 13, but most of those were garbage time.
It was crazy.
Yeah, he started off like 1 for 6, I think. But
yeah. No, he started off terrible. Shooting, but then he
the Knicks
like the next
60% from the field in the third quarter. So more than halfway through the game, they were at 60% from the field, and they were down 25. The fact that it's like I don't even think obviously the Knicks did not play a good game. I'm not trying to make it sound like the Knicks played well. The offense definitely did not look cohesive. It didn't look as good as it did in like the playoffs last year.
Look at Earl smiling so much.
I'm not smiling. I'm laughing.
He's so happy.
Okay.
He's sitting there.
Can I explain? I'm not happy. I'm literally laughing because I'm picturing Mikel's shot that I had to keep watching in the first half over and over. That slingshot shot. It looked horrible. I don't know. Somebody must have talked to him at halftime.
I don't know why he keeps changing his shot, because his shot from Brooklyn, I think, is different than his shot from Phoenix. Yeah, and he's always been a good shooter. I don't get – I mean, there was a quote from him where he's talking about, like, I've been trying to tweak my jump shot since I came into the NBA. Why? It's not like he's a bad shooter. This is not like – it's not a bad shooter we're talking about. It's not like a Jaden McDaniels, who's always been, like, a liability at the three-point line. Mikal Bridges is known as a great shooter. I think they said on the broadcast last night that, like, he's led the league in corner threes for, like, 6 straight years. This is not someone whose jump shot needs to be tweaked with. I don't get why he's constantly changing it. And now it's like he's changed it and it's got a hitch in it again, which he said he used to have and he's been trying to get away from, which is good. But now it's back. Like, you don't change your jump shot 9 years into the league when you're a very good three-point shooter. It just makes no sense. Yeah. So I don't know if like some coach got in his ear or someone he worked out with in the offseason, some shooting coach told him to do this, change that, like hold the ball here. Whatever it is clearly not working. And so I think it's only a matter of time before he reverts back to what he was doing in Brooklyn, which wasn't great, but it's fine. It's like, it matters more if the jump shot goes in. It doesn't matter if it looks good or not. And to be fair, I would
prefer his shot.
Really also not going in.
Yeah, I would prefer his shot in Brooklyn because to be completely honest, it was just really high.
It's higher. His shot in Phoenix was a little more sound, but I think his Brooklyn
release was like right here in Phoenix. But when he went to Brooklyn, it was like up here, and he would just.
Yeah, he's got crazy long arms too. People don't realize how long his arms are. He really he is a tough shot to contest. If he wants to really pull that ball up super high, you're not getting there unless you've got.
I want to talk about this because this is exactly why I wanted to do the transition, because I didn't want to talk about the 3-point shooting. I wanted to talk about how much the Knicks are going to actually miss Julius Randle, and it's going to actually have to do everything with the aggressiveness downstairs. We have absolutely no aggressiveness downstairs. We have nothing. We have Karl-Anthony Towns. Like, I get it. He's a great 3-point shooter. Everything he has the resume to be a superstar, yada, yada, yada. Everything that everybody's saying on Knicks Twitter. Like, I'm sick of it, but God damn it, it's true. But I don't even want to get into the narrative like he's soft, but God damn it, he kind of enforced it last night. He didn't
use him right. Y'all turn a 41% 3-point shooter into a pure post scorer.
No, I'm not asking
on 5 attempts a game.
No, I'm not asking for that. Listen, because this is what I found stupid. This is what I found stupid.
Hold on, this 7-footer. He should be down low.
But I agree. Like, I get that narrative. It makes sense, but you can't just neglect a whole aspect of his game that makes him that unguardable type player at times. Like, he's a guy, just like, it reminds me of like Porzingis. Like, Porzingis is a guy, who you have to guard from 3-point out. He can. We talk about same things that happen with Porzingis. Oh, he doesn't like to play inside. Yeah, he can. I agree. He should play it more, but you can't just erase your 3-point shot off of 5 attempts. The dude is shooting 41%. You have to. He has to take out.
I respectfully think you guys are missing the point, because what I'm saying is that you can still be a 3-point shooter, but still also be very aggressive in the glass. Julius Randle has done that. He can do that. I mean, God damn it, if Julius Randle can do it, why can't Karl-Anthony Towns do it with his big ass body? Like, I'm so serious. Why not?
I think that's one thing that the Knicks are going to have to work towards, is getting him down low more.
Thank you. And I'm not saying like we're turning a 40% 3-point shooter into a pure post scorer. Like, you can have. I'm not saying. You can have. I'm just saying you should know what you're to
expect.
You can have that in one player.
I get what you mean, but like, we're talking about a whole career resume of a player, how he's been playing his career. Like, I mean, it doesn't happen overnight, is basically what I'm saying. Like, if that's what y'all want,
100%.
It's going to take time. Like, he's not going to, let me bang down here with the big dogs and post spin dunk on somebody.
But Jrue Holiday
he's never been
fucking you up on the defensive end.
Well, that's Jrue Holiday,
you should be able to post up on Jrue Holiday and dunk on his ass. If you cannot do that, what are you doing?
That's a hard standard, bro. Like, you can say that about any other player, but Jrue Holiday, literally, that's what he's known.
Karl-Anthony Towns.
Yes, bro. It's Jrue Holiday.
He did take Holiday a couple times.
Jrue Holiday there were a couple times
he went in the post and he scored over.
Yeah, that shouldn't even be a debate. It's a.
But I'm saying he's not gonna. You're not gonna finish over. But that's when you say it like that. That's like surface level argument.
The height difference is a little too much to
be. But height difference is height difference, bro. It's about skill. Jrue Holiday knows where Karl-Anthony Towns is going to put that ball. He's going to play aggressive. He's going to make sure he doesn't get to a spot and get an easy shot. Like, that's what Jrue Holiday is known for.
I'm not trying to say
making
that he's not
uncomfortable defensive positions into his benefit. Like, that's what he's always done in his career. Not saying he should.
I'm saying is Karl-Anthony Towns weighs about 100 pounds more. So
but I'm saying, like Max said, like Max said, he got buckets on him, but it's not like he's going to do it every single play. Like, it's still Jrue Holiday. He'll get some stops like here and there. Like, he's done it before against some of the best, bigger players than him. Like, that's what he's done in his career.
All I'm saying is,
it doesn't bode well the fact that he did struggle a little. Like, I think we're going to need him. And to be fair, Omar, like you say, if we have no interior, when Mitchell Robinson comes back, that changes. When Mitchell Robinson comes back, we have someone to anchor the middle and hold that down. We also didn't have Precious Achiuwa last night, so those are two guys who are.
God willing, Mitchell Robinson, please, my Lord and Savior at this point. Like, oh my God, I'm so sick of this Mitchell Robinson shit. I'm so sick.
I'm just saying, y'all acting like y'all didn't see Timberwolves games last year. This is what Cat is. There's a reason why Rudy Gobert is next to Cat. Like, the reason why he got moved to power forward. This is why.
I think that's something that we need Cat to develop in his game if we're going to be successful, honestly. Like, I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
He should be shooting 4 to 5 3-pointers a game. He is a very elite shooter. When he's hot, he can hit 7 or 8 or 9 threes in a game. And when we should know when to go for him. But I think if he can also consistently, especially for the stretch when Mitchell Robinson is out or not on the floor, he has to develop some sort of post or interior presence. And, I know his game in the last couple of years has been moving more and more towards the perimeter because of Gobert, and that's made him a better shooter, which is great. We can utilize that. But if you're also going to be a 7-foot center in the league, you have to be able to go inside and have more of a presence. Like that, the Celtics were attacking him defensively too. Like, they were putting him in pick and rolls. They were making him like step up and guard guys on the perimeter, and obviously he couldn't do that. So it's like, I think Towns, he has a lot. The foundation is there for him to be a very successful player on this team, but he's got to get down low more. If he can at least be a competent interior player, rebounder, finisher, rim protector, if he can at least get to league average in those stats, I think he'll be a great fit. But if he's giving us nothing, that's a problem.
Let me tell you something.
Let
me say something real quick. If we just get the Karl-Anthony Towns that was playing in the preseason, we will be okay. I get it. It's preseason. I get it. It's preseason, and it's also only one game. I get it. But God damn it, he played 10 times better. And God damn it, he grabbed the amount of rebounds that we need him to grab on a nightly basis. Let's not forget that Karl-Anthony Towns is a double-double machine.
I feel like you got to understand, too, like, it's not like you're just playing any other. It's the champions.
We're playing the best team in the NBA.
It's a reason why they're the champions. They know. They have their whole team figured out. Everybody on that team plays with purpose. It doesn't matter who you switch here. They truly believe I can guard that. Like their whole team, they're 1 through 5, and they can switch everything. Not saying they'll get a bucket every time, but they have a good chance to get a stop.
That's another thing that's just what it is. Last night. That was another thing that I was pissed about last night when Mikal Bridges was clearly not getting it done on the defensive end against Jason Tatum. Like, why was there no switch indicated at all?
I seen he was out of position and Karl pushed him up the cook guard.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, if you need Karl to do that, there's seriously another issue.
That was pretty funny.
I don't even know, but like,
but again, I don't think the Knicks
there was absolutely no
terrible.
switching between OG and like.
Yeah, considering we're missing our 2 starting centers and we're playing the best team in basketball, and they happen to shoot 29 3-point, shoot 61 threes, and make 29. I think the fact that we still shot 60% through most of that game, even with, just the offensive struggles we had, bodes well. I think if we play that exact game against a league average team like an Atlanta or like a Golden State or a Sacramento, we probably win. Like, I'm not overreacting. I think it was a bad showing. There's some things that clearly need to be worked on. Offense needs to be better. Towns needs to be inside more. Bridges needs to find his shot. But I'm more confident in those things happening. And even if they don't, the Knicks will still be, I think, good enough to survive until they do happen, if that makes sense. But full credit to the Celtics. I mean, no championship hangover whatsoever. They came out, locked in. They said, you know what? We were already fantastic at shooting threes last year. We're just going to shoot more tonight. And when they get hot, there's no team in the league that can stop the Celtics. They know how good they are when they're hot. And it was just pop a shot. Like, literally just whoever catches the ball, just drive, get a little bit of help, because Tibbs' defense always helps on drives. Kick it out, wide open 3 every time. Like, they made some contested threes, but a lot of them were just wide open shots, or like Tatum creating space on a step back or Brown on a pull up. So credit to them. I think the Celtics are going to be as good as any other team in the league. And if they can just survive this Porzingis deficit, which I think they can, considering they did it last year, if they're a 1 or 2 seed when Porzingis comes back, good luck stopping them in the regular season. At the very least, they could win.
It's funny though, because you really don't even need Porzingis in the regular season, and then you
really
can bring him in the playoffs.
Without Porzingis is a 1 or 2 seed, really.
And then when he comes into the playoffs, it's like, dang, they're truly unguardable. Like, we've seen those games when you just gave Porzingis the ball, nobody can stop you. There's nothing you can do when Porzingis gets going. Like, there's not a lot of people who can play defense on him. Like, he's one of those guys. It's the reason why when he got drafted, they call him the unicorn. Like, after he played that year. Like, we see what he's capable of. The only person who can stop Porzingis is really himself. But I will say this, like, you guys play the Pacers on Friday, so it'll be a good chance to see, like, how you guys go from Celtics to Pacers. I think that's probably going to be a way better game, depending on how
I think that will be a much better showing. I think the Knicks will win that. If they play as well, if they play like they did against the Celtics, they'll beat the Pacers. I think that they're very capable of that. It'll be a gritty game, though. Playoff rematch. It's gonna be intense.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
But we want to talk about some of the games tonight. The opening lineup games for tonight.
In a second.
Oh, I'm cool for that.
Okay, what's up, Bo?
Yeah, no, we're good. Actually, we're good. All right, let me pull up the games for tonight. I got my parlays.
Tell me my game of the night.
What's the Earl game of the night? The E3 takes event of the night. The E3 event of the evening. That's
the E3 event of the evening.
That's a good. I like that segment. That is my games of the night. I have 2.
That's crazy.
I have 2 games of the night. Number 1, must watch tonight is going to be mid versus mid, because I really want to see where they're at. Mid versus mid, Hornets versus Houston. I have no idea how these teams are going to look this year. What you want me to say? You want me to say Bucks versus Philly? I mean, there's no Joel, no Paul George. I mean, we know it. I mean,
I guess that's true.
I got some.
It's Maxey and the guys.
Explain yourself. Explain the pick.
Okay.
Explain why.
Let me explain why. One, I want to see what LaMelo Ball on that team. I feel like he had one of the better preseasons out of like kind of the NBA all-star type level players that we've seen so far in the league. He had a really good showing. Like, his three-point shot was falling, playmaking was there, and we see what happens when LaMelo Ball plays 20-plus minutes a game. Like, they play good basketball. Same with Brandon Miller. Tristan as well. He played good. I think he kind of surprised a lot of NBA people out there in the world. And then the Hornets. I mean, not the Hornets. I just said the Hornets. The Rockets, I have no expectations. I have nothing, no thoughts about how they're going to play this year. So I'm just curious to see how they look. I mean, a lot of guys got paid. They pretty much paid their whole young core over the last couple of days. So I'm curious to see what they do tonight. So just looking at the games, I think that one was interesting.
Do you have a win prediction?
I got all the predictions. You need predictions, I got you.
Charlotte by 5. I think it'll be a close one. I don't see a blowout. Tonight.
You don't think Charlotte's gonna lose tonight?
I'm actually gonna back her on this. I'm gonna say Charlotte by 2.
I don't think
Charlotte's gonna win.
Second. I think this is gonna be a last second like game winner or buzzer beater by Charlotte.
What you think they're gonna lose?
No, Charlotte is gonna win. I think Charlotte's gonna win.
I think Charlotte's gonna lose.
I think Charlotte wins. I don't see it.
Is it in Charlotte or in Houston?
I don't know.
All right. Let me give out my bold predictions of the night. So Indiana at Detroit. Indiana's going to pull that out. Tyrese Halliburton's going to get at least 10 assists.
Detroit.
Indiana's going to pull it out. Tyrese is going to get at least 10 assists. Milwaukee at Philadelphia. Milwaukee's going to pull that out pretty easily. Giannis for 20 plus points. Cleveland's going to pull it out against Toronto with Donovan Mitchell with 20 plus. Atlanta's going to pull it out against Brooklyn. Trae Young with over 10 assists. So he should get 11 or 12 tonight. Orlando at Magic. Orlando at Miami. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. It's the same state. I'm still right. I don't care. Orlando at Miami. Orlando's gonna pull out the win tonight, but Jimmy Butler will get 15 plus points.
I hope so. I have him in fantasy.
Chicago.
I hope he fails.
Chicago and New Orleans. I think New Orleans is going to pull out the dub tonight, and then Zion's going to get at least 4 rebounds.
Okay.
Charlotte.
I thought you were retired better.
You know what?
This sounds like you're about to.
I had to come out of retirement.
I was going to say this sounds really sports betty.
He's on his Jordan. Well, yeah. Well,
I have a list. I went and I prepared for it this morning. So I'll give me some
he put in the chat.
Yeah, more responsibility.
I'm done.
I'm not done.
Here we
go.
All right, continue.
Charlotte at Houston. Houston's gonna win that. Alperen Sengun's gonna have a double tonight. Memphis at Utah. Memphis is gonna win tonight. John Morant's gonna have 20 plus points. Golden State.
I got Utah.
You got Utah? Perfect.
No, I'm just trolling.
Golden State at Portland. Golden State's gonna win this game with.
I got Steph Portland Curry winning that game. Like real talk.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. With Steph Curry hitting more than 3 threes tonight. And then our last matchup of the night, Phoenix at Los Angeles. It's going to be Phoenix taking
Clippers, out. Los Angeles Clippers, to be clear.
Clippers are winning that one.
Phoenix is going to win with Devin Booker scoring more than 26 points.
I think the Clippers are a great defensive team.
Even without Kawhi? Harden as your defensive centerpiece? Nope, I don't know about. I feel like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard holds that defense together, which fair, but now they're not here. So,
but I think
James Harden and Zubac.
I have a theory.
I don't know about that, dog.
I have a theory. I think the Clippers might be a top-rated. Never mind. I'll hold that for later.
Nah, hold on to that one. It may
hold on to that. I'm gonna put it right there myself.
Yeah. Right. Just put a quick pin.
But
in it
I do think that.
Yeah, put a pin in it.
I just think the Clippers are such a mystery. I don't want to underestimate them versus Phoenix tonight. But
I also don't want to overestimate them. If they were playing like the
Rockets, that is true too.
Utah, I could say that. But again, I think Phoenix.
Because this could be Is this a home game for them? By the way,
Clippers. I think so. Right.
Because nobody wants to lose on the first side of their.
It's Phoenix at
home opening. Opening and new arena.
If I was there, I'd go with you.
Walk with me. I gotta be honest, Earl. They got no firepower. They have James Harden, and it's against Kevin Durant.
That's an easy answer. Durant, they have no firepower.
Devin Booker
look under the hood.
Bradley Beal with 1 season under their belt together.
But still, they had games where they play awful. Are we gonna ignore the games where they were all out there together? They didn't play good. I mean, no, which I know the Suns are a great team. They should win. But I can't ignore the fact that you still got to go out there and win. Like I can't just give.
I think going to help with that. I think that coaching change is going to help them.
Yeah, I think
maybe not immediately. I'm sure.
But what about Ty Lue? I mean, but then you got Budenholzer versus Ty Lue. It's a good matchup too, coaching wise. That's a good coaching wise. Like Ty Lue is one of the rare coaches who make in-game adjustments that actually work. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of credit for that. No,
Ty Lue could be
If
traded.
the Clippers win, it'll be because of Ty Lue.
If you don't, if you think,
win, it'll be down to the coaching, I think.
I'll get down with that. I think this could be a coaching masterclass. I think this could be a coaching masterclass
that we don't know about. But gosh, Harden with Terrence Mann and Zubac
likely finish probably wins this game for sure. But I do want to think in a fantasy world that, you know, not that I'm going for the Clippers, but I think they're a real mystery. Like, what happens when your identity gets snatched? Like your two identity pieces. Who steps up and who wants to win? I think that's the biggest question.
I think them and Memphis are probably the two biggest mysteries in the league this year. Like they could finish top 6 and lock into the playoffs, or they can miss the play-in entirely. I feel like both of them.
I'll low-key throw the Rockets in there too because I just don't know what they are.
I don't think their ceiling is as high as a Clippers or a Memphis.
Yeah.
Don't have that. They just don't have that. Because if you're getting top 6, you need a guy that can drag you.
Money.
You can't really do it by committee. I think by committee can get you a play-in and maybe into like the playoffs do a play-in win. But top 6 is tough, especially in the West. Top 6 is tough without a guy to just win you close games.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because remember last year, didn't you need like the top 6 was like 48 wins or 49 wins in the West? Like Golden State, people forget Golden State had like 44, 45 wins in the regular season. I was like the 8 or 9 seed. Going into the play, like it's tough. You have to win a lot out West to get in.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see. Speaking of Portland, bro, I really want to see Donovan Clingan play. I don't think he's gonna play a lot of minutes tonight. I just with the amount of bigs they have on that roster, but I can't go against the fact that he had a really good preseason. And we're talking about like the intangibles. We're talking about rebounding. I'm not even talking about.
I think he's gonna be a
20+ point rebound game. Like that's pretty impressive. Like
I think he's gonna be the backup. I think he's gonna be the backup center for at least right now.
Is Robert Williams back yet?
I think so, but I think
remember he got hurt again in training.
He got hurt again.
Yeah, remember? Started preseason. Started preseason. He got hurt. So
he just not safe. Speaking of other guys being out, I know. Obviously, Paul George is out for this game. Minor injury. He'll be back soon. He's out. Embiid is now out. I think they said for at least the rest of the week. So he won't play tonight. He won't play. I don't know what Philly's other game is, but he's missing at least the first 2 games of the season for Philly. So again, not long term, but not how you want to start the season off for an injury-prone player like Joel. Then Isaiah Hartenstein for the Thunder got injured in preseason. I believe fractured something in his hand or had some sort of hand-wrist injury. He's out until 5 weeks. December. So he is also out at least the first month of the season. So that's a big blow. Considering they got him to be like their center and hold it down, and they were assuming to build their team around him as a center. Now they kind of got to revert back to last year where they don't really have a traditional center. They're going to have to probably play Chet at the 5, I'd imagine. Unless they have someone else they're playing on starting. But I mean,
look, like playing Chet at the center worked out fine for them.
True, it did last year.
I mean, like, dude.
I think their optimal line will be Chet.
Don't get me wrong. I think OKC is a lot better than last year. But to be completely honest, in terms of impact, I think it's going to be about the same as last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to improve when you were 1 seed. To be fair, they were the 1 seed last year. Not by much, but
They had a really good run. SGA had an MVP year, and man, like Isaiah Hartenstein only adds to that. So do I think they'll get like any more wins because of it? Probably like 2 or 3. But I mean, it's hard to go. It's like you said, it's hard to go up from here.
It's like I think it's like the little things, like the playoffs. They needed extra rebounding. I think Hartenstein's going to be very valuable because we already.
You'll probably see that more and that impact more in the postseason.
For sure, and it brings Chet to the 4. That creates a lot of mismatch problems. Same reason why Cat was able to be aggressive on the 3-point line is because he was at power forward. Chet can take more threes. He can kind of focus his game on help defense as well. That helps him get blocks, which is already a good defender. So it's gonna help that team out a lot. I feel like
keeps him healthier too. I don't think they hate having Chet not bang with centers every night.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I agree with that.
Until he develops a little more of a frame, I don't think they mind him being on the perimeter more than the next couple of years.
It's a hard life. Like if you don't have that weight, I'm telling you, like even last year, I know Wemby's a lot stronger this year, but I talked about those games. Like yes, Wemby is long, but there was. AD had some of his best games going against Wemby. Did Wemby get some blocks here and there? Yes. But same game where AD has like 40+ points. Like it's just you gotta put weight. Remember
I
that
think-
Joel B game was versus Wemby, where he went crazy.
So in the
Yeah,
beginning of the last season, I think Wemby and his agent came out and said that they weren't like they addressed it right away because I guess they were getting annoyed with the question about his weight and everything. So they addressed it right away, like at the draft, saying that we're not going to gain weight, like we're not. But I think that's what I'm getting to. It's like
So he put on like 15 pounds.
he put on like 15 pounds, 20 pounds this summer. He put on a lot of weight, which makes me think that he kind of got a sense of what the NBA is on. And I think he kind of realized, like,
Giannis, man.
I'm not going to, exactly. And I'm not going to say, like, Wemby came into the league thinking he was going to dominate everything. Maybe not. I can't speak for him.
But he did dominate most things. He did dominate a fair amount.
But what I will say is that he thought it probably would have been a little bit easier to be skinnier in the NBA. And what I think the big surprises was for him was the fact that weight played a huge factor. Like you said with Anthony Davis, his first game against Mitchell Robinson was pretty rough too. He didn't get a lot off. So, I mean, against bigger centers, it was hard for him at first. So, I think he woke up a little bit, and I think he started to realize.
Anthony Davis versus who?
No.
I'm saying. I'm comparing the two. Like you said, Anthony Davis, like as
No, I got you. Sorry, my Anthony Davis protection plan popped up.
Oh yeah. That's a good.
But yeah, before we wrap up this show, I guess we can touch on a couple of the contract extensions that came out this last week. Yep. Starting with the big one, the big dollar one, Mr. Jalen Suggs. Welcome to the Generational Wealth Club. 5 years, $150 million to play defense, essentially. It's a lot. I did not think he would get that much. I thought maybe he'd get
we literally paid OG $212 million to pay defense.
True. I mean, that is just kind of the market value now, and he is a young player, so I guess locking him up 5 years is understandable. But gosh, I was thinking like maybe 3 years, 90, 3 years, 100, giving him the full 5 year. That's for like. I feel like that's the kind of contract you see guys like LaMelo Ball get. You see like
it's because of Quickly's contract.
It's close to Emmanuel Quickly's contract, which I guess
it's because of his contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Quickly's contract maybe kind of reset the market for like young guards getting that max rookie extension. So, I mean, I'm not going to say it's an overpay. It's too early to tell. Who knows? If the Magic go on to be contenders and develop, and Jalen Suggs, if he can get an offensive game going on top of his like already borderline All NBA defense, then it will 100% not be an overpay. Like $30 million for a very good defender who is competent on offense is a fair going rate in the modern NBA, especially for a young guy who can do that. So it's putting a lot of expectations on him. I think if he still struggles offensively and is inconsistent and doesn't find his jump shot as often as they need to, then in like 2 or 3 years, they might be looking at this as like, we paid this much for a guy who shoots 30% from three or whatever, or maybe not shoots 30%, but isn't a high volume 3-point shooter. But if he's able to just become league average in that, I think the defense will pay for itself. So it's a long-term investment for Orlando, but they're a young team. They're going all in on their core. They want to keep him, so fair enough in my mind.
I think it'll happen, yeah.
I guess, and then I'll say like, oh no, go ahead. I think
you finish your thoughts.
No, I was just gonna say the next name. Go ahead. I'm good.
Oh, yeah, and then the next thing is Michael Porter Jr. got an extension. I believe 4 years, 134, I want to say. 134? Something like that. 4 years, 130-ish.
Yeah, sweet.
So not
Michael Porter, you said, wait. Who did you say?
Michael Porter Jr., 4 years, 134 mil.
I thought he already had his extension. What are you talking about?
Or was it Aaron
Gordon?
Not
Michael Porter Jr. I'm sorry. Aaron Gordon. Good Lord.
Yeah, I was about to say, Aaron Gordon got that last night. I was like, Michael Porter Jr., we were talking earlier how, like, that's probably why they didn't sign KCP. So
I got my Nuggets and white guys mixed up. Aaron Gordon got a 4-year, 134 extension. So welcome also to the Generational Wealth Club, Mr. Aaron Gordon. I think he already had it. He's got bags before, but this is his biggest bag. And again, it's similar to Jalen Suggs. He's getting paid to be a roll man and catch lobs from Jokic, which, you know what, maybe in a vacuum isn't overpay, but when he's out there winning you playoff games and finals games like he has, I think it's a no-brainer for Denver. Like, the only thing with him is that, like, he's proven himself in the playoffs, and we know he fits with that team. So in my mind, the extension makes a little more sense than Jalen Suggs just because he hasn't proven that yet. But it doesn't help the Nuggets cap space, obviously, but I think at this point, he's too key to the way they play. He is a piece of that core, whether people like to admit it or not. They need to keep him around if they're going to try and extend this window to win another championship. So lock him up for the long term. Is it a lot of money? Yeah, but again, that's kind of the going rate for good role players these days. So again, very solid starter presence. He's going to be there. He fits in that culture. He likes the team. Jokic likes him. He'll be there. I think that's a good signing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was definitely one of those things. You got to keep the core together as much as you can. You already lost a lot of people, so this is a move that
you don't want him to be the next KCP.
Yeah, they had to make it. So I still it's a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, we ball.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he earned it, right? He helped them win a first championship in franchise history. He was a big part of that. Yeah. So at the very least, even if he doesn't pan out, you paid him for what he already accomplished, which I think is fair. That's a good move sometimes.
Workers' comp.
Yeah. The Lakers wish they did that with their guys a couple of years ago and they won a championship.
Yeah, that reminded me.
I'm not going to lie.
New world, new day, new world.
Dwight Howard, huh?
I mean, he's at home.
I mean, Dwight Howard could probably be a backup center in the league right now.
I would bring Dwight Howard to the Knicks.
He can start for us right now. I would start Dwight Howard next to Anthony Davis right now, and I'd be confident. Mm-hmm. No hesitation.
Work. I mean, Jackson Hayes did look good last night, but does he bring much that Dwight Howard couldn't bring? Is the question.
Yes, everything in every category, but we ball.
All right, I think we can end it here, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this episode of
wait. One more name, though. Don't forget about my GOAT. Don't forget about my GOAT, Jalen Johnson, getting $100+ million.
He got his one. I forgot about the Jalen Johnson extension. My bad.
And Alfred Şengün for 180, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, Alfred and Jalen got signed.
Alfred, Jalen, Johnson. And then you had Jalen Green, too, who got signed as well. So, 2 Jalen.
Jalen Green got one, too. Wow, so the Rockets paid both their guys.
He got signed.
Yeah, they
paid both.
Alfred, I believe Alfred was the max,
he did
and Jalen wasn't the max.
He did a 3. It was like something about he negotiated. I don't know how to explain it.
I figured they would do Jalen Green for 4, but I don't know. Maybe
I think they did 3 years
I think the way he did his, Şengün's 5.
Şengün's 5 and Jalen is 3.
Okay. It's like the Quickly deal. It's a lot of these rookies that we're seeing from like the 2018, 2019 class are getting, or like 2020 are getting like 5-year 170.
He got $106 million
damn
contract extension for 3 years. So basically, he's betting on himself.
What was the number?
It's 106 for 3 years.
Wow.
So he's probably betting on himself. Şengün got 5.
5,180. So he's basically making the same a year just for less time.
Yeah. Basically, he's betting on that by that 3rd year, he'll outplay the contract and you can add more to it on the back end. So, all four guys getting their bag. I mean, you do what you gotta do. Especially the Rockets. I mean, they seem like they're printing money over there. If you can do a little bit over there, get that bag, go ahead and do it. I'm not gonna hate, because if I was in the same position, pay me, bro. Texas, tax free. We ball.
All right, guys. So with finally all of the contract extensions out of the way, thank you guys so much for tuning in on this Beyond the Backboard podcast. Be sure to tune in this week as we will turn out another 2-minute drill episode. And just be there, be square, don't be weird, and
I knew you were gonna say that.
Peace.